La 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 la. La 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 la. She really hates him, it's really true.
Testing 1 2 1 2 3. Testing. Hit it, baby.
Oh,
That was funny. Whoa. We have a prop act with us.
you say hit it. What do you want me to do?
We get the joke. Well, anyhow, welcome to My Wife Hates Me podcast. We had a long run with these networks.
With these networks?
Well, first we were with Riotcast. We want to thank Rob's. Well, let's start off. Bobby Kelly. It was his vision and his idea for us to do a podcast. And we even did it before our fire, after our fire in that apartment, right?
Okay, this is the last one. You couldn't hold off? Jeez. Get that gum going. Come on. Right into the mic. Give him one last.
So, Bobby Kelly, you guys should do a podcast. And podcasts weren't a lot of people were already doing them. And we been doing it for like 10 years, right? And a lot of people were already doing. We go, and then we ended up. He didn't talk us into it. We agreed. Remember, we had one microphone. We used to have. It's still down there. That Yeti.
Yeah, Todd Glass was like, "I want you guys to get your own microphones."
Todd was a big fan. I wonder if he dropped off.
He dropped off.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe he does still listen. Who knows?
Well, we like to hear from Todd Glass and know if you still listen.
He was one of our first early supporters,
Yes.
adopters of the McFarlane Voss podcast.
Our podcast is, very, very underground amongst the entertainment community. We're an underground podcast,
Well, anyway, keep going on your thought that you were started off with.
So Bobby got us. Oh, this is upside down.
Rich, stop
Bobby,
playing with stuff.
I'm not playing with. I'm making.
You're like your ADHD or whatever it is that you have.
I don't
just
have
going
it.
nuts. You're like, ooh, do. Oh, boo, boo, boo. It's like, stop, center, figure it out. Okay.
There.
One of the reasons why our podcast is so deep underground is because it's boring.
It's boring.
Because Rich just plays with stuff on the desk.
Oh, I do that for 10 years. I play with stuff on the desk.
You are such an addict. You know that?
How am
At
I
your
an
meeting today, why don't you bring up, I only look at things in black and white. There's no gray area for me. If she says something, I go right to the most extreme aspect.
Why don't you bring up your dumb voices in your next?
I'm going to do a podcast with just me, but it'll be me doing other voices. So I'll interview. Well, buddy, it's great to have you here. Want to ask you a little bit about your husband. How much longer do you think you two are going to stay married? Well, that's a great question. I think as long as he wants.
Oh, what a dumb answer.
I am a...
You wanted to say something negative. Next week.
No.
Okay, so we thank Bobby Kelly. Then
okay. Let's
What?
go through that. We thank Bobby Kelly.
yeah, we got to thank people.
No, you go like this. So, Bobby Kelly, thank you so much for getting us on the road to hatred and negativity.
And Rob Sprantz, Riotcast, we were with the Riotcast, and he helped us throughout millions of problems and set up our whole.
Oh God, he used to have to talk to you on the phone, walk you through it. He would take over your computer so that he could get it set up for you. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The remote, whatever.
Yeah.
And Rich, as you recall, some of you early listeners, had a piece of paper for 8 years where he would have to look at it every single time in order to set up the podcast. And if he missed a step, he could not figure it out. He had to start completely over. Do you remember that? That's like the learning curve of Rich Voss, which is a big fat goose egg.
Oh,
here we go. Goose, duck. What joke are we gonna make here?
I'm not gonna make
chicken
a joke.
egg.
Whoa, a little goose egg line.
I knew you were gonna say something.
Something stupid. A big fat goose egg. Oh,
Well, it's like, and then, we didn't have to do that anymore. The setup.
oh yeah, they set it up for us, so we just turned it on. But Rob had his own podcast, and he ran the network. So Bobby and Rob in the beginning. Then we went over to Laugh Button, and even Matt at Laugh Button came to our house and set up the new camera and stuff. And I guess we were with Laugh Button for what, 2 or 3 years now. But we've done and then they got us our own producer, Nick, our producer.
Greatest producer ever.
The only one we've ever had.
He has to watch every episode.
Yeah, but you're saying the greatest. Who do we have to compare him to?
Well, that's why, he's the greatest. Undefeated.
He's undefeated. He's how many episodes for how many episodes?
I don't know. 30?
30? You are fucking stupid.
Why?
If we've been with why? I'll tell you why. If we've been with
why? I'll tell you why.
Like 30 episodes.
Well, how many do you think?
Probably over 100.
Oh, that seems like too many.
No, if we were with Laugh Button for 2 or 3 years, just 55 weeks in a year, say we did 50, that's 150 if there's 3 years. We'll get him on and we'll discuss it with him. We're going to bring him out of the dark.
He's like sleeping right now.
I'm here.
Yes. I was thinking he has some kind of like alert system for when we're done. It's like he hears certain words, it comes back online.
Any of your favorite episodes over the last?
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't know. They all seem the same to me. They all seem exactly the same to me.
Remember the episode?
People will be like, that was a good episode about, an episode. And I'll be like, I have no idea what we even talked about. Like, I don't know what made it good or bad.
Me? I make it good.
Or bad. Yeah.
Remember when you blew me on one episode?
Stop. That's not true. That's a fallacy.
Remember when you cried?
This morning.
Whoa. Quick with the comebacks. We'll get back to the thank yous. I just got off the fully loaded tour. I did 4 nights.
Oh, you almost forgot. You almost forgot to list where you've been.
I didn't almost forget. I was in Baltimore, then Pennsylvania, and then 2 nights in New Hampshire. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Bert Kreischer's fully loaded tour. Man. How many people were in those audiences?
Well, Baltimore was in an arena. I don't know, thousands.
Wow.
Then Pennsylvania, outdoors at a ballpark. And then New Hampshire at a, what do they call those?
Pavilion? I don't know. I don't know.
It went on for people way out to the launch. I'm telling you, Bert and his wife, they really know what they're doing. How do you know? You know her?
I know. I've never met her.
So nice. So nice. They worked. It's nonstop work with them. And their daughters were there. Everything, the food was amazing. Nice gift bag. The audience, the shows, the comics, everybody crushed. The first 2 nights I went on after intermission. And I had more anxiety. And then the last 2 I went on first, which was great. But I'm going, I got to go first. And I go, it's going to be half empty. But it was full right from the beginning in New Hampshire. It was full. It was so much fun. You didn't want to get off stage, 15 minutes. Attell was on it one night, Shane Gillis, then, myself, Tiffany Haddish, Norton was on the weekend, Tammy, Big J, Dan Soder. Who else? I think I named them all. Cypher Sound, killing it. The other DJ Carter, she was rocking it.
Well, when Rich says you're rocking it, you must be rocking it.
Carter was rocking it, baby. It's my little girl.
Ew.
What? Ew.
So disgusting.
Everybody that worked on the tour was so nice. After the show, there were food trucks. We all sat around the fire. It just was, they really know what they're doing over there. They really know. I'm glad I got to do those 4 nights. So it was so much fun. Thank you to everybody that was involved in the Fully Loaded tour. A lot of fun. Long drives. Oh, from Pennsylvania. I drove home yesterday. It was supposed to take 5.5 or 7. My legs started cramping as I'm driving. My right foot, the pedal foot.
Was it a little boring?
Oh, the drive home. I listened to my whole music library.
So it was a little boring, that drive home?
No, I listened to my whole music library.
What I'm trying to say is if it was boring while you were doing it, then the repeating of it is probably pretty boring.
What did I repeat? Did I listen to my whole music library?
No, you're sitting there going like, Fully Loaded. You listed the people. You listed the places. Okay, there was no story, no interesting tidbit.
Kind of story?
Listen, I don't know. That's what you do. That's your thing. You're a creative human being that's supposed to take things that happen to you and be able to translate them into some kind of interesting.
I did say it was full. It was packed.
Okay. Yeah.
It was great.
Ooh. Yeah, no, things that your mom wouldn't say in a conversation.
She wouldn't
to her
say
sister.
anything.
Okay. Here's the places I was. Here's who was on the show. And now, because that wasn't boring enough, let's talk about the drive.
7 hours. Have you ever driven 7 hours? Yeah. Straight to get home to this.
This is our last one. This is what he thinks is like, yeah, let's go out on a bang. I'm going to talk about my 7-hour drive home. We never listened to a podcast.
I listen to golf radio, talk radio.
How boring is that?
Or
get a podcast. You could do a podcast that's like an actual story about something or investigative reporting on something.
I listen to that all the time. I listen to
but not in a podcast.
Dateline. I listen to Dateline all the time about murders and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Same thing. So don't tell me what I listen to. I didn't
know anyone would get that mad over a suggestion. I'm sorry.
I'm not mad.
I listen already. I hate me. You know what you should do? Listen to a podcast. I already listen to stuff. How dare you? It's like, what?
But you've told me to listen to podcasts 10 times, and I've told you 10 times I listen to.
You don't listen to podcasts. It's
okay.
a different experience than listening to the radio. You have control over it. A, you can pause it. B, it's not just one episode. It's over the course. It's like watching a whole series on television. Okay. Or you can listen to podcasts that just give you information. You can listen to a golf podcast that I'm sure is more interesting than the golf radio. Boring as that.
It's not boring to me. It's not boring to me.
Oh, well, it sounded like it because the way you were talking about how boring that drive was.
No, I didn't say how boring. I said how long it was. You're putting words into my mouth, see? For your own narrative.
Well, it's boring to us.
Well, that's different. 7 hours. My legs started cramping.
I'm going to fucking elbow you in the head. I can't. Okay, so we're not doing the podcast until September again.
Probably September, because we're going
to move. We got vacations. We got summer stuff. And we're moving, obviously, our podcast to another network since Laugh Button so unceremoniously pulled the plug on podcasts.
Well, I mean, what kind of ceremony are they supposed to have?
I don't know. A little.
What? Send us gifts, right?
Something we could list off on our first podcast, wherever we end up.
But dude, I think they should send us some kind of gift, right?
I don't know. They're probably saying that. They're probably like, they should send us some kind of gift, right?
They should send us a gift, some Bluetooth or something. I don't know. He did give me this bidet for my toilet, but I never said
What is it called?
A bidet.
Oh.
Bidet, bidet, bidet. Have a good bidet. What's it called if it's not called
A bidet?
Bidet. What do you think it's called?
I just told you. A bidet. BIDET.
That's what I said, bidet. I think I said it's...
No, you said a bidet. You said it several times because when you make a mistake, I love to rehear it.
So I guess still send us some kind of gift, a thank you gift, right?
Sure.
Are we supposed to give Nick a gift?
Yeah, probably.
Didn't you give him something sometime?
For Christmas.
You did? Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh.
We did, yeah. I don't know I forget what it was. It was probably nice if we sent it. You sent it to him? You knew his address?
Yeah, I've been there several times.
Really?
When you're out of town.
You go to Nick's?
I go to Nick's. We hang out. Just read scripts together and stuff. It's no big deal.
Oh, cool. Do you move your right shoulder a lot?
Ooh, that's great. That's so funny, Nick. Oh, my God.
Is that what you say?
Like, oh, God. You're such a good writer. Oh, my God.
You're gross.
Yeah. What about you and your...
What?
That's my little girl. That was gross. Nick's my little boy. It's weirder because Nick can hear me.
So, is there anybody you want to thank or anything, we thanked it?
No, people think, Rich, what is wrong with you?
Sorry.
Well, you were the one who told me. You go, we're just doing a 15-minute podcast. And then you go and change gum in the middle. How, like, the fact that your gum would be done in the middle of a 15-minute podcast is absolute. It's like the odds of that are astounding, absolutely astounding that it happens every fucking podcast. So either you're doing it on purpose.
No, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize. I'm sorry.
It's so weird.
All
But
right.
how could you not pay attention if it's something that, like, how can your brain not go, ooh, this Bonnie gets mad at this, so let me not do it until we're done, which is probably in 6 minutes.
Sorry. All right. When someone says sorry, you're going, okay. And then
Yeah, no, because it's like, you're saying sorry, but you're doing it over and over and over and over and over.
Let's talk about one.
But about what are the astronomical odds that you would need to change your gum in the middle of the podcast? Out of all the gums you chew all day, in the middle of the podcast?
What are the odds? 50-50. Either I do or I don't.
Why? Because you change your gum every, every 30 minutes? If you change it every 30 minutes, I can see it happening.
No.
Every hour?
Yeah, usually around an hour or more.
So, wow. Wow.
Ooh. Say one more wow.
Wow.
Hey, talk about how
You talk about it.
Bonnie bought this air fryer for Father's Day for me.
Raina, it's Raina's gift to you.
Oh, it's very nice.
An air fryer.
An air fryer to
He's
me.
hard to buy for.
But Bonnie made air fried chicken last night, and I've never seen Raina get so excited about food. She's like, "Oh, you gotta have one of these drumsticks. You gotta
Well, I'm
have
not
one."
doing it all the time. I only just make your meats on special occasions.
Can you put turkey burgers in an air fryer?
Guess what you have it in your right there. Guess what it is? What is that?
My phone. Google.
Or it's every recipe you've ever thought of in your life can be in there. It's really a magical thing. You don't have to ask people on the street, just rolling down your window, can you do a turkey burger in the air fryer? Remember that time you asked somebody where you were going? You were like, "Hey, do you know how to get to wherever?" And the guy told you how to get an app. He was like, he goes, "Okay, do you have a phone? There's ways you can get an app." Oh my God, that was so funny.
Oh, hardy har har. That was funny. What other negative things do you remember about me?
Oh my God, so many.
Well, listen, we're going to be on one of a couple different networks.
Who cares? Stop. What do you care about it?
I'm telling them we'll be back.
Yeah, they know we'll be back. We said September.
How do you hold on to your fans?
The 7 of you, we're going to send you an email, like personal email where we're at.
We're back.
They'll know. We'll post it on
Who was our
Instagram.
remember one of our big fans? What was his name?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That one
you just
guy
say,
used to send
like,
us emails and stuff, and I forget. Maybe we'll even start up a Patreon again. That didn't last long, but that's
because you had to do a little extra work.
We had to do a little extra work. We, not me.
Who
what?
Who didn't want to do it?
Both of us.
I mean, I didn't want to do it, but I would have done it. But
all right, so you just asked who didn't want to do it, and
no, but you wouldn't do it.
What? Anything positive you want to say?
No, no,
nothing.
Why would I end on something positive? Our next podcast is going to be different.
What's it going to be?
It's going to be you interviewing me every episode. Instead of starting out with like, "Okay, this is how you come to the podcast."
Oh boy.
It is true. You're like, "Okay, what can I say about me?" It's like, why don't you just do it without me? You don't even need me here.
That's not true.
You would love to, wouldn't you love to just speak what you want to speak without some fucking bitch being like, "That's boring"? I mean, you wouldn't have any listeners or followers or anything, but you'd get to do what you want to do. Let me put my gum in and tell you a list of 7 people I saw last week.
I'd blow up.
Let me thank anyone who's done anything, because I think for some reason that they listen to this podcast and it matters.
Because I like to thank people because I give back.
No, because it's thank them to them. You can thank them.
Oh,
personally, like to put it on your podcast and expect them to like hear it.
Look at this, but don't repeat the name. And they didn't even get back to me. Where right here, I put.
Oh well.
Why wouldn't they get back? I thank somebody.
I don't know if that's something you should bring up on the podcast when I'm not allowed to speak about it. Or I mean, what do you want from me? I'm irritated that you even sent that. So.
I like to thank people. That's all. When people do nice things, you thank them. Right? Right, folks? Do you think Todd Glass still listens?
We want to thank Todd Glass. Getting us there.
Make us get 2 mics.
2 mics.
2 mics and a cup. Well, anything else? This week I'll be at the Grand Comedy Club.
God.
Next weekend I'll be at the Mothership in Austin, the Grand in something, California. Let's look it up because it's outside of San Diego, the Grand, but I don't know if I know the. What am I doing?
We don't know.
Oh shit! Whatever. The Grand Comedy Club. Here, it'll be right here somewhere.
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know.
I apologize. I mean, the next podcast is going to be better. We're not going to let Rich talk on the next podcast. He's just going to sit there chewing his gum. Every once in a while, we'll let him chew into the mic.
Come on, talk. Thank people.
For what?
For just...
People always say, here's the thing. People always go, "Oh, do you think the podcast helped your relationship?" I mean, you talk about your relationship, blah, blah, blah. No, I don't think it helped the relationship. In fact, in many ways, I think it made it worse because it made me see him for what he really is.
What am I really?
What are you? Look at what you're doing.
I'm trying to find the name of the
You
town.
can just go to his Instagram. He's going to have it on there. It's the legend Rich Voss on Instagram, or Rich the Legend Voss, something like that. And you can just find out his tour dates there.
No, you go to my website, richvoss.com.
Or you can go to his website, richvoss.com. Get his tour dates there.
Oh, here. This weekend, I found it. The Grand Comedy Club in Escondido, California.
Escondido, California.
How do you say that?
Escondido.
California. Then next weekend, the Mothership. Then, July.
The Mothership in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. In July 12th, I'll be taping a special for Gas Digital at the Cutting Room.
Oh, that'll
July
be fun.
12th. Yeah. Me and Colin Terrell are on my night. Colin Terrell, very funny guy. And that's July 12th at the Cutting Room in New York. Free tickets. Go online, get them. And it's going to be a fun taping.
Okay.
What?
The other thing that I was going to bring up, which I can't remember now.
Go what?
Do you think the podcast helped our relationship?
It didn't hurt, didn't help. It was just, it is what it is. I think, it helped because it made me aware of some things that you told me to be aware of, and I, some I worked on, some I didn't. But
what do you think you worked on?
Communication. I don't know. You made me laugh. That's what I like about you. You made me laugh a lot. So yeah, it helped. You brought laughter into my life.
Oh my God. Wait, there was one other thing I wanted to say about the podcast. No, I can't remember. God damn it.
Well,
People did got a lot of stuff about I'm sure you got stuff about what my problem is. I got stuff about what your problem is. And people would post on Instagram like, I'm Team Voss on this one, or not realizing I'm also a Voss. So you're Team me.
Oh, the fan, his last name was Rogers. He was a big fan.
Oh, he still
listens?
Yeah.
I wonder if him and Todd
Anthony Rogers.
I wonder if
our number one fan. Let's give it to him right now.
Oh, thank you, Anthony.
Anthony Rogers, our number one fan in the world. Thank you.
Oh, remember when that therapist used to listen and
write long things about your narcissistic personality disorder?
Yeah, fuck him. And
Lots of people wrote me about your narcissistic personality disorder.
I don't have a narcissistic personality. But then he used to come to shows and stuff.
Yes.
He got on my nerves.
Well,
my doctor passed away.
Okay.
It was so sad when I heard it. A guy who I've gone to for 30 years. It was so sad. Anyhow, back to that, because we were speaking of doctors. What was that guy, a psychologist or a therapist? He used to write these long emails. Fuck off. Fucking stalker. Fucking asshole. Glad he's gone.
Okay. Wow.
I'm glad Anthony Rogers stayed and he left. And we don't know about Todd Glass.
We'll take one Anthony Rogers over 40 Dr. whatever his name is.
Yeah. Doctor, whatever his name is. Yeah. One Anthony Rogers. That's what I'm saying. Lou, she listened to us.
Look.
That's from Lou's restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bonnie.
Well, Rich was, what's funny is that people think we're actually married and that this is real. They don't realize it's a script. If we turn the camera around, you'd see, hi guys, you'd see all the writers and everybody making this happen. They really made you into a fucking shitty character, I think, towards the
Come
end.
again?
Yeah, I know. It's like in every script.
Okay, one last time.
It's in the script. You got to do it.
Jesus.
But no, we're both married to other people, and it's been fun working with you. It's been a and the fact is that these rings are not even real. People don't, cause show them the rings. People think they're real. He has to dress like this for the podcast. It's like
Wardrobe.
All
right.
Thanks, Natalie. That's our wardrobe person. Hi, guys. Hair and makeup every fucking morning.
Sometimes they're in a rush, though. Wow. You always look pretty on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's slightly backhanded.
Why?
The way you hit that on the podcast.
Yeah, you get ready for the podcast. You don't get ready for dinner. You don't put on makeup for dinner.
I don't have makeup on.
That's not natural.
I don't have one drop of makeup on. Look at my face.
No, don't make me.
Sorry. I just didn't feel like it. I wanted to give you guys the au naturel. The real me.
Nick, where's Nick? He can come on. Want to bring Nick on for a second?
I'm here.
Rich wants to say thank you.
No. We'll figure out what I already said. Thank you. How many thank yous can I say?
I don't know. Whatever's in the script.
We'll let you know.
Nick writes a lot. Nick, you've been writing a lot of these, haven't you?
I'd say about 50%. I'd say about half, but they do a lot of rewrites because all my stuff is too sexual.
Right. You always want Rich and I to make out and stuff.
How long have we been with Laugh Button? Do you know?
I don't know how long you guys have been with Laugh Button, but I've been with you guys for almost 2 years now. We're coming up on 2 years.
Wow.
So that's about 100 podcasts. Bonnie
Close
said,
to it, I think.
Bonnie said, what, 40?
I said 30.
Always downplaying my achievements. That's all it is.
All right. Well, listen,
I always how many scripts that you wrote. I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to wrap this up. I'm going to have a turkey, bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich for breakfast. What?
You just went off script.
Oh,
that is not on there. Anyway, like, subscribe, and listen to our Patreon. Oh, I don't know why I said that.
We don't have any of that.
Guys, thank you so much. You've been here for us, I guess.
Who?
And I don't know who I'm talking to.
Anthony Rogers.
Anthony Rogers, thank you. And
maybe Todd Glass.
We'll see you in our next iteration.
September. How do we put the word out? On Twitter and Instagram, right? We're back.
Yeah, we'll do a gigantic launch.
A billboard? Want to get a billboard somewhere?
We'll get a billboard in New Jersey. It shouldn't cost too much money.
What about LA?
That's too much money.
Louisiana, I mean.
Goodbye.
We're done. Peace out. Give me a kiss. That wasn't in the script.
La 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 la.
My Wife Hates Me was created and hosted by Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane. Executive producers Robert Kelly and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button podcast. Subscribe to the podcast by visiting mywifehatesmepodcast.com.
Suicide pact, he's totally sober. She's not that drunk. He's really old and she's got some spunk. He's totally holy as an asinine bomb, and she's just a little less dumb. She really hates him, it's really true. But somewhere deep down, she loves him too.